What's up, OG, triple OG?
It's your man. Y'all already know what it is. We got something a little different today. Y'all might want to pay attention to this one right here. So, without further ado, let's get to the video.
But get this, we are also reporting today that a group of CEOs of the top American retailers, Walmart, Target, Home Depot, and Lowe's, had a private meeting with Trump on Monday. They had plenty to say, but there was one warning that stuck out. Empty shelves, they said.
Damn!
Empty shelves in American stores as soon as this summer because of Trump's actions.
What is that meeting in the Oval Office on Monday that we learned about, and other reporters did as well, that really apparently caught the president's attention? And I am told that business leaders, the Business Roundtable and others have been reaching out to White House Chief of Staff Susie Wiles and other advisors here, trying to get a meeting with the president, trying to convey to him in real terms the real fallout of some of this uncertainty, some of these tariff policies. And it was that empty shelves comment, we are told, that really caught the president's attention. Of course, you can see why. The whole idea that we would have an interruption in the supply chain, sort of like we all saw in the pandemic, simply because of his policies, is something that would be difficult for the White House to endure. So that is one of the reasons we are told that he changed his posture. It's interesting.
That's the warning Trump got this week from the CEOs of Walmart, Target, and Home Depot, three of America's largest box stores, telling him that prices have not gone up yet because of his tariffs, but they would soon, and that within a period of only 2 weeks, we could start to see empty shelves in stores because of the disruptions caused by Trump's tariffs.
Hey, yo, what the fuck?
That warning and the fact that the stock market again collapsed on Monday this week, at the same time the bond market collapsed and the dollar collapsed, finally convinced Trump that maybe destroying the U.S. economy wasn't the best way to save the U.S. economy.
You big dummy.
That's why he caved on tariffs to China this week. Now, he's caved halfway. Trump has suggested that maybe he'll eliminate half the tariffs on China, which would still leave 70% tariffs, which is an insane quantity that shuts down all trade. But he sort of threw that out there because he's freaking out, and he thinks he may have caused too much pain to the American consumers. In the end, Trump's tariffs are increasing inflation. They're increasing unemployment. They're starting to slow economic growth, which is risking a recession. None of this is what people voted for. We voted for him to get inflation down, not to make everything in the economy worse.
Donald Trump just blinked on tariffs, and he didn't do it because of Democrats. He didn't do it because of Sleepy Joe. It's not because of the fake news media. The thing that has finally made Donald Trump flinch on tariffs is that a number of CEOs from Walmart, Target, Home Depot started saying to Trump's face with tears in their eyes, "Sir, we are 2 weeks from triggering empty shelves in the United States of America."
No, you done fucked up, don't you?
Remember how Trump would say that when Obama took over, the cupboards were bare?
Obama.
Yeah, that wasn't true.
Stop the cap.
But we are now in 2025 in a situation where the president is being warned by billionaire retailers that if he keeps going with the tariff roulette, America would walk into stores and find fewer and fewer goods on the shelves.
Now, damn, Lee, damn you.
Not a hypothetical, not a projection. This is sort of like a 2-week countdown to chaos that we've now learned Donald Trump has been given.
Say, that's the bad guy.
Now, before the emergency CEO summit, I guess we would call it, Trump was busy torching the markets with his usual bravado, threatening to fire Fed Chair Jerome Powell.
I run shit here. You just live here.
Announcing 145%, 245% tariffs on China, floating a plan to nuke every trade agreement on earth. And the result was that stocks collapsed, bonds and the dollar tanked, global investors fled for safety. And by the middle of this week, Donald Trump started pumping the brakes. Suddenly, Trump started saying, no, the tariffs on China are going to come down. The 145% tariffs were too high. Suddenly, no, Jerome Powell's job is very safe. I was never even thinking of firing Jerome Powell, despite posting to Truth Central that he should be fired.
You're fired. Get out of here. You're fired.
This is not strategy. This is panic management, crisis management. And what's truly disturbing is that this warning had to come at all. Because you would think that a president who is the best on business and the best on economics and just is so good on this stuff, this was Trump's main strength, we were told. You would think that a basic understanding of how modern supply chains work would be enough for Trump to know this is a bad idea, but it wasn't. And ultimately, it took 3 of America's biggest retailers to march into the White House and to say, with respect, sir, your policies could collapse the consumer economy in 2 weeks.
All right, there you have it. An interruption in the supply chain. Now, I've been talking about this for a very long time as far as the economy and also the dollar crashing. I've been talking about this for years. But a lot of people, they don't want to hear it. They call it fear-mongering and, those sorts of things. But as you can see in these videos, that's why I got, 3 different sources. It's a possibility that shelves will be empty in 2 weeks. And some of you may know that I'm in Ghana, Africa right now. I'm not in America. I left America 6 months ago, like in October sometime. They said this is going to happen in America. I don't know about these other countries or whatnot. I don't know about Africa. I think, Africa got their own stuff going on, and, they getting their own supplies from, a lot of other countries or whatnot. And they also got, they make their own stuff. So I don't know if we're going to be affected by this. I don't think so, because as they said, it was going to be America, with empty shelves. Donald Trump is isolating America from these other countries.
I'm putting cases on all you bitches.
He's starting all these trade wars, threatening countries and stuff like that. Y'all heard it. A lot of people is not paying attention to what's going on. A lot of people is not aware of these tariffs, and shelves might be empty in 2 weeks. A lot of people don't know about this. Neither do they even care. It'll have to smack them right dead in the face for them to see that, damn, we're in a crisis right now. You have billionaire CEOs of Walmart, Target, and Home Depot warning the president about shelves being empty in 2 weeks. We talking 2 weeks here, y'all. And this was said like 2 days ago, so we lost 2 days already. But when I was in America, I was getting prepared. I was, stacking up food. I had a whole lot of food, water, all that stuff, generators. I was getting prepared because I knew it was going to be a time where the government was going to be on some bullshit. I'm just going to put it out there like that, And then when I found out Trump was going to be in the office, I'm like, oh, here we go. This is it right here. Trump, he going to keep it up. He going to keep the beef up. He gonna keep up everything. Trump ain't bagging down. Trump don't want to hear that shit. All he care about is his rich friends and trying to make America great again. And you see how that's going for him right now. So we got to really think about what's really going on, People think Trump trying to save America, but in reality, Trump is destroying America.
You're goddamn right.
Y'all tell me what y'all think about this whole thing with the tariffs, with the shelves being empty in 2 weeks. Y'all tell me what y'all think about this. To my ghetto clan, this your man. Y'all already know what it is. To the next video is Ghetto Talk. Up out of here. Peace.